Coming up next at 10.
Tonight, a raw and unbridled act of nature and the homeowners who may have a hard time going to sleep tonight.
Residents in West Broward preparing to take more heat from raging wildfires that are now just 500 yards away. I'm Diana Diaz along the Sawgrass Expressway where the flames are coming closer to us and closer to National Car Rental Center. I'll tell you what to expect coming up.
I'm Charles Belay in West Broward with the fire seekers. Those are forestry crews looking for the latest hot spots, and you're looking at it. We're going to take you in there live.
And I'm Robin Simmons in Northwest Miami-Dade, where the Division of Forestry is focusing on fire, but also keeping an eye on a potentially deadly combination, smoke and power lines. We'll explain in a live report.
I'm Bill Kamal here in the Weather Center. Today, most of us lucked out in Broward County. Those east winds blew the smoke away. The pattern could change, though, this weekend. I'll have the forecast.
Then gunfire shattering the silence at sea as the U.S. Coast Guard goes after some suspected drug smugglers.
A little girl traumatized when she gets her yearbook and reads the caption next to her photo.
And over the satellites right now, parts of a Midwestern town annihilated after a monstrous force of nature is born. I'm Lori Jennings.
I'm Craig Stevens. Let's get it started now at 10.
Now, live from the news station. This is 7 News at 10.
The night team live along that line of fire ravaging parts of Broward County, and for many homeowners, it's getting way too close for comfort.
7 Skyforce flying high above the flames as we get a better idea of what firefighters will be dealing with now overnight. Good evening, everyone. Residents are now just starting to get a sense of how serious the situation really is.
And that's why we have a network of night team reporters ready to go. Diana Diaz working a fire that's on the move near the Sawgrass Expressway and the NCR Center.
Also on the night team tonight, reporter Charles Belay on the front lines with the firefight that's keeping crews working overtime.
Robin Simmons in Miami-Dade County near Chrome Avenue, where fires have scorched more than 1,000 acres.
And we also have meteorologist Bill Kamal. He'll have the very latest information we all need about the winds and which way that smoke will be blowing. But we're going to begin tonight with 7's Diana Diaz. Diana, go ahead and get us started.
See, Craig, this fire is going strong behind me here. We are along the Sawgrass Expressway, and this is just on the other side of a canal here. And this is the reason why there have been such traffic tie-ups up and down the Sawgrass, because it is just a few hundred yards away from the road, away from National Car Rental Center, and away from nearby homes.
Looks pretty scary. Looks like it's coming right at us if you go up there. It's pretty scary.
It's a sight keeping all eyes on West Broward. Flames shooting into the night sky, creeping closer to civilization.
Getting kind of nervous about it because, like I said, the smoke comes in. We live right, pretty over here, and it's kind of bad.
Fast-moving flames making their way through 1,200 acres east towards the Sawgrass Expressway. No, the National Car Rental Center is not on fire. Those are clouds of thick black smoke less than a mile west of it. Clouds that loomed over Broward's western suburbs, leaving behind its mark.
Ashes on the car from the fires you can see in the clouds is horrible. I mean, I washed the car 2 days ago. We took it out for a spin and everything. Came back and looked. Have to do it all over again.
The fire's not a threat to neighboring homes, but a major threat to those susceptible to breathing problems.
It kind of chokes up your lungs a little bit, so it's kind of hard to breathe it. I don't think it's right.
Your eyes are getting red.
Yeah, from all the smoke and everything coming by.
Especially since he's been having breathing problems.
Those living at the Sawgrass Recreational Park on US 27 breathing a sigh of relief. The fire that charred 1,900 acres there is contained, but the smoke still poses a problem to drivers along US 27 near I-75.
Seems like it's all going to the west.
You're hoping it stays that way?
Yeah, I sure do.
And luckily for the people who live in this area, that fire is right behind me, but the flames and the smoke are being pushed out west away from the homes here. And if we take it to 7 Skyforce, I can tell you that 75% of this is contained. Officials here hope it will just burn itself out. Reporting live in Sunrise, Diana Diaz, 7 News 19. And from Diana Diaz with some of the dangers of these fires, to the night team's Charles Belay now with exactly how firefighters are tackling the flames. Charles?
Well, I'll tell you, the reason why US 27 is open this evening is because of a lot of fast thinking and a lot of fast acting by Division of Forestry. You can see they've got their heavy equipment sitting right here. Just a few minutes ago, this machinery was inside of a section of land right off US 27, and they were able to knock
all the flames down, and it was not an easy job.
That's access road 84. That's where we were running that CME. Oh, yeah.
Forestry crews running and gunning all over South Florida. This crew traveling at high speed to intercept this. Another brush fire along US 27, small, but with the potential for danger.
We can probably get on it from that levee over there.
Is that a problem for you guys in this area? Access a problem?
Well, you can see there's a canal around most of this whole side of it. And as far as the other side, we're not sure. There's a levee that runs around the other side.
That's what we needed, is one more fire.
This firefight requires immediate attention before the smoke obscures visibility on US 27. Florida Highway Patrol and Broward County Fire Rescue assist in keeping crowds back. The curious arriving with video cameras, but law enforcement isn't having any of it.
Need to move it for me, sir? I will. Move out this way.
Within the hour, heavy machinery arrives with forestry crews in full fire gear, creating a swatch through the sawgrass that hopefully will kill the advance of the flames and keep 27 clear throughout the night. Is this a threat right now?
It's not a threat to any property. It's just to smoke on the highways.
Back out live now to this stretch of land that is not burning thanks to some fast action by forestry crews. We can tell you, though, that a Broward Fire Rescue said that they thought this fire was suspicious because it is anywhere close to where the big fires are brewing, where Diana Diaz is. And the wind is not coming from that direction, so this could not be a fire started by embers. They say this is suspicious. We're going to keep an eye on it, and they're going to stay here all night to make sure that nobody tries any funny business. We're live in West Broward. Charlesville I-7 News Night Team.
Well, as we've been hearing, the winds appear to be working on our favor, at least for now. And let's bring in Bill Kamal at the Weather Center with more on what we can expect through the night and tomorrow. Bill?
Well, these letters, Craig, are what we like to see east, meaning the winds are blowing from east to west, and that is going to be fanning the flames to the west. Now, usually at night, the winds die down, and they have, but not so much as a couple of nights ago. Notice they're basically calm on the west coast of Florida. We should keep the east winds tonight everywhere and not see a westerly wind return. However, in the long term, I want to show you what's happening. We have a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity on the west side of Florida and across the Panhandle today. There is a front, and this front in the middle of the country is separating some much cooler air from some really hot and humid air. And as low pressure forms along that front, the front will get closer to us by Friday, and that could spawn a southwesterly wind, and we will see probably the showers and thunderstorms as well as the smoke come back toward the east. So this is the front, and it'll be propelled by high pressure in the upper levels and at the surface. We'll talk more about that in the full forecast in about 25 minutes.
All right, thank you, Bill. And fires also burning parts of Miami-Dade County. The night team's Robin Simmons live on the scene with a firefight there tonight. Robin?
Firefighters here dealing with two major problems. Number one, power lines in the area. If there are problems there, there could be problems for them, also for you. And also, Melaleuca trees here providing plenty of fuel. Lightning sparked this fire south of US 27 on Chrome Avenue in northwest Miami-Dade. Dubbed Big Daddy by firefighters because it began on Father's Day. The threat here isn't to structures, but the danger is real.
When you get that heavy black smoke, the power can travel through the smoke and down to the ground. So if we got firefighters on the ground underneath these lines, you know, it could be very dangerous for them.
For days, firefighters like Daniel Marinas have been working hard to contain this blaze, and it's finally paying off.
These little spots are smoldering here are not a big deal when they're inside the line, but we do have some close to the unburned areas, and those are the little spots that cause the most problems during the day. When the temperature goes up and the humidity drops, then that starts the fire back up.
With help from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, the Division of Forestry has the fire about 50% contained. But conditions have not improved enough for anyone to let their guard down.
It is very dangerous. The Melaleuca burns very intensively. It's got a very high oil content, and also the smoke, it's partly poisonous because it contains cyanide.
So at this point, the fire is 50% contained. 1,100 acres have burned so far. Things have calmed down quite a bit, but firefighters anticipate that as the day heats up tomorrow, the fires will again too. We're live in Northwest Miami-Dade. Robin Simmons, 7 News Night Team.
All right, thank you, Robin. And the night team now on the scene of a police-involved accident in Northeast Miami-Dade. A police cruiser getting sideswiped by another car right along Ives Dairy Road and Northeast 14th Avenue. Fire rescue and paramedics are now on that scene. We'll keep you posted on any injuries.
Drama at sea as Coast Guard officers fire shots into a dark sky and take off in a high-speed chase that ends in a major drug seizure. 5 men, suspected drug runners, later released from a Coast Guard cutter in handcuffs. 3 of the suspects are from the Bahamas, the other 2 from Jamaica.
And the show of force on this site caught on video. Cameras capturing Coast Guard crews firing almost 36 warning shots, all to stop the alleged smugglers from getting away in their 30-foot boat.
Agents making the drug discovery along the eastern tip of Cuba Sunday night. On board the vessel, there were 3,000 pounds of marijuana valued at $3 million.
Panic inside a South Florida post. The running for governor, State Senator Darrell Jones has announced he will be running for the state's top position. Jones is the first prominent Democrat to officially enter the race for his party's nomination. Several other high-profile candidates considering a run include former U.S. Attorney General Janet Reno. Jones, by the way, is the first African-American to run for a governor's seat in several decades.
We'll take another look now at the big story of the evening, those brush fires that are causing headaches for county and forestry fire crews. Live pictures from Skyforce. Here's the good news. The winds are coming in from the east at this point, which is blowing the fires away from the metro areas in Broward. But the bad news is they're not completely contained, so obviously it's a situation we will keep on top of.
Also tonight, a tornado strikes the Midwest with deadly force, leaving a town in shambles. The night team takes you live to the devastation.
Is he breathing, you guys? No, he's not breathing.
A desperate phone call from rocker Tommy Lee after a boy is found face down in his swimming pool.
I'm Beatrice Canals in Miami. A young student is hurt by more than sticks and stones. It's the words that appeared in her yearbook that have her feeling emotional pain. We'll have this story you'll see on just one station.
All right, Beatrice, and a major forest fire ballooning from 2 to 20,000 acres, and it's threatening several towns in its path.
Also ahead, they're painful and debilitating, but now an herbal extract could cure your migraine headache.
And stop paying those big fees to your bank. Start saving your money instead. How to get more bang for your buck at the bank. The Big Show, coming right back.
7 News, brought to you in part by Dodge.
Man has yet to improve upon it.
We want to bring you the latest on that developing story now out of Northeast Miami-Dade. You're looking at the result of a police-involved accident. Look at this cruiser, very banged up. You see also a Mazda Miata to your right, and we're told there's a white van that was involved in this as well. The scene is Northeast Miami-Dade. It's Ives Dairy Road, heading east. That was the way the officer was heading at the time. Apparently, the white van, I'm just being told, did leave this scene. That's why we do not see it. But this was a 3-car accident.
And in the end, as you see, and it probably won't come as a surprise as you look at that cruiser, I don't know if we can push in on it, but the officer in that cruiser was injured. Not clear the extent of the injuries, but officer did have to be taken to a Memorial West in Hollywood for treatment. As soon as we get any update on that officer's condition, we'll get back to this story, again, happening right now in Northeast Miami-Dade.
Also tonight, a school yearbook leaves a young student stunned after she sees a cruel caption right next to her picture.
Instead of getting all of her friends to sign it, this young girl says she can't even take a look at this thing. It's a story you'll see on just one station. The yearbook blunder leaving the 11-year-old embarrassed and upset, and it's easy to understand why. The night team's Beatrice Canals is live from Shadowlawn Elementary to explain this story for us. Beatrice?
Well, Craig, we've all experienced it at one time or another. It's the end of the school year, and you just can't wait to get your hands on your yearbook. Once it is finally handed out, you run over to it, you open it up, rush through the pages to find your picture. This young girl did just that, only once she found her picture and she read the words that were printed next to it, it quickly erased the smile from her face. Monique Baldwin brought to tears, horrified to think other children could believe the cruel captions published in her yearbook. Words that describe the 11-year-old as a girl who, quote, gives love, money, and sex.
It's not true, and didn't say that. And that's not me.
That makes me feel real angry inside. Real angry. Because she's a child of God and she don't deserve to be exploded like that. And how could professional people make this kind of mistake?
And that's exactly what the publisher of the yearbook, teacher Rosemarie Alonzo, calls it. A mistake that's made it into the hands of many students at Shadow Lawn Elementary. Some 90 yearbooks handed out to 5th graders back on June 11th. 2 days later, the error was detected and yearbooks called back. Too late, Monique's mother says. By then, her daughter had become the target of teasing.
I saw a couple of kids walk by and they stared at her. And she has to go to middle school with some of these kids.
Kids like Monique's friend Christopher. His caption describes him as smart, honest, caring, and generous.
Short, pretty, funny, wow. Dollar snapball with love of ice cream.
Monique's message also intended to make her feel proud. Instead, it's made her wish the yearbook never made it out.
How could that happen? You know, they're supposed to have proofread this stuff. How could it got out like that?
That's what we asked the school board. According to them, another student is to blame.
It seems that after the teacher had approved the final edits to this publication, which is given to the 5th grade students, about 90 of them, it seems that somebody did go back into the computer and added a very short but very disturbing little comment.
Little perhaps in the number of letters, but an enormous and embarrassing error to Monique.
She's just a baby. You know, you teach your children to grow up in the right way, and then a school come and exploit them like that. It's not right.
Now, of the yearbooks handed out, 80 of them, we're told, have been returned to school officials, which means about 10 of them are still out there. Tonight, Monique's mother tells us she is seriously considering taking some legal action. All of this while the school board insists they are still investigating this incident to try to figure out exactly who is responsible. Standing by live in Miami, Beatrice Canals, 7 News Night Team.
Beatrice, thanks much.
And ahead tonight from the Newsplex, another stabbing at another school in one of the world's safest countries. This time, a teacher is the target.
A bomb blast leveled half a building, and police are saying this was no accident.
I'm Health Specialist Marilyn Mitchell. Coming up in Doc Talk, instead of reaching for prescription drugs, some migraine sufferers are finding relief in a powerful new herbal supplement. And is your bank helping you save your money or taking too much in those hidden fees? We'll tell you how to get more bang for your buck when it comes to your cash. We'll be back.
7 News brought to you in part by South Florida Ford Dealers.
As I put on my daily attire, I got my button flies out of the dryer. Next thing you know, I'm a wealthy man of means. I found $10 in the pocket of my jeans.
When you've got something to celebrate, come to Bennigan's for our mouth-watering Irish-American top sirloin. A 10-ounce USDA choice center-cut top sirloin grilled to full-flavored perfection. It's just a thing when you're celebrating whatever.
Having problems eating your fruits and vegetables? Well, a new technology could help change your diet. We'll show you tomorrow on Today in Florida.
The Civic DX, the Civic LX, the Civic EX. IntelliChoice just named the Civic as the best overall value in every price class. That's a clean sweep. Amazing, but true. The all-new Civic from Honda.
At Toyota's big honkin' event, there are no gimmicks and no clowns.
Will you look at that? That's a big honkin' deal.
With such great deals, who needs clowns?
Giggles, quit crying. Be a man about it.
So stop by for big honkin' deals on our full line of great SUVs, like the $1,500 price reduction on all rugged, off-road ready 4Runner Limiteds. The big honkin' event going on at your Toyota dealer now.
Of course, you know this problem firsthand. Maybe some of you out there have maybe at some point had a headache so bad that you've had to actually curl up in a dark room and hide from the world.
It's the worst, isn't it? Migraines, and millions of people suffer from that type of headache every day. Well, now, as health specialist Marilyn Mitchell shows us tonight in Doc Talk, there's an herbal extract that might just prove to be a migraine miracle.
you want to scan it?
No. Every day is hectic at the Reese house as Mom Noelle watches after her 4-year-old twins.
I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I need to be on my feet and able to work with the kids.
But every so often, a migraine would knock her off her feet. A couple of months ago, they started coming more often.
I was getting them every day, debilitating migraines where I just couldn't get out of bed.
Light, sound, even the smell of food was too much to bear.
I could not function. I couldn't get through the day.
Many patients who are in such severe pain are anxious to grab at anything to have some benefit.
Doc Talk expert neurologist Nicholas Sweet says most people reach for over-the-counter or prescription drugs for relief. But now he is starting to recommend to some of his patients a new herbal supplement called Petadolex.
It prevents the headaches.
Doc says it works by keeping blood vessels in the brain relaxed. Studies have shown that 2 pills a day for at least 12 weeks reduces the number of migraines by up to 62%, and it doesn't have any serious side effects like many prescription drugs do.
I've been impressed by the results so far.
So has Noelle. She thinks it's a migraine miracle since she hasn't had a disabling headache for nearly a month.
Now I am completely free of the headaches and I'm back to my old self and I'm thrilled.
Petadolex is not FDA approved. It doesn't have to be because it's an herb. That's also why insurance won't cover it. It's expensive, about $40 for a month's supply. I'm Marilyn Mitchell, 7 News. And pop queen Whitney Houston facing off against PETA in a possible fur fight. Animal rights activists warning Houston not to wear fur to the Black Entertainment Awards show tonight. But the diva, who is set to receive a Life Achievement Award, intends on wearing a mink, especially made for PETA, to the Las Vegas event. The coat will be pre-sprayed with a rainbow of colors just in case the protesters throw paint on it.
And potential trouble in paradise for tennis star Martina Hingis. Her stalker, Dubravko Rasovic, is apparently upset over news of the tennis star's latest courtship with the attorney who prosecuted the case. Rasovic's lawyer says his client is humiliated and intends to appeal the conviction. Rasovic, who was sentenced to 2 years in prison, hopes to have that conviction overturned.
And still ahead tonight, first at 10. Coming in off the satellite is a bomb blast at a boarding house doing some serious damage, and it is suspicious.
Also, a little boy found living with a pack of wild dogs. Details on this bizarre discovery.
Still Kamal here in the Weather Center. The pattern for the time being will be such that the smoke will be blowing west. However, as we head into Friday and Saturday, that could change. The full forecast next.
7 News, brought to you in part by Isuzu, equipment for real life.
What was that?
Whoa.
Gosh, it's Joe Isuzu.
Honey, you just killed Joey Zuzu.
Trying to see.
Look at his leg. His leg's all
He
bent.
said the Isuzu Axiom has more horsepower.
What is happening?
Dual mode suspension, and it's 6,000 less than your Volvo cross country.
We gotta do something. Maybe we can roll him onto the street or cover him up. Where'd he go?
There's a Jeep Cherokee just a few blocks out. Nice work.
Welcome to the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South.
Look at the puppy! Oh,
Here, let me see him.
so cute.
Yeah, he's cute.
Hey! Hey! Hurry up!
There he is!
Get an ID on the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South, the original search engine.
When I had to read out loud, I didn't know lots of the words. Like, I had trouble with island, so I had to sound it out. Is land. And I know I sounded dumb.
At Sylvan Learning Center, we guarantee your child's reading skills will improve 1 full grade level in only 5 months.
Now, I know all the words, and I can just read it straight through, no problem.
If your child needs help with reading, call Sylvan at 1-800-EDUCATE. Success is learned.
Toyota calls Tundra better from the ground up. But the GMC Sierra Extended Cab, as engineer Mark Cieslak will tell you, has more horsepower, more headroom in front, legroom in back, gets more gas mileage than Tundra, and tows more. So, what do you call better? Lease this 2-wheel drive Sierra SLE for as low as $299 a month. Call for residency restrictions and lease details. For $2.99, you upgrade to professional grade. See the pros at your GMC dealer.
Police in Tokyo on high.
For as low as $2.99 a month. Call for residency restrictions and lease details. For $2.99, you upgrade to professional grade. See the pros at your GMC dealer.
Police in Tokyo on high alert after yet another stabbing takes place on a school campus. Authorities report a female suspect allegedly stabbed a teacher while forcing her way through the gate of a kindergarten. And as you recall, this attack comes only 11 days after 8 first and second graders were killed when a former janitor slashed his way through an elementary school in western Japan.
At least 4 people are hurt when a bomb explodes at a boarding house in Indonesia. The blast toppling the roof of the 2-story house in the capital city of Jakarta. Police also making a bizarre discovery there, finding several unexploded bombs in the room next to the one where the bomb actually went off. Authorities say no one has claimed responsibility yet for the attack.
And now an amazing survival story in Chile. Wait till you hear this. A boy is found living among a pack of dogs. Officials say the 11-year-old has been surviving by drinking the milk of a female dog and scavenging for food. Authorities say he was abandoned by his parents and has been living in a cave with the stray dogs for 2 years, they believe, after he escaped from a care center. Doctors are now treating the boy for severe physical and psychiatric health problems.
Now, time for 7 weather with Bill Kamara.
Well, the showers on the southwest coast of Florida have just about diminished, but you can see more coming in from the Atlantic. We have this easterly flow now, and that's good news for the fires. When you see the wind direction out of the east or east-northeast, that means the flames are, or the smoke anyway, is blowing to the west, from east to west. The winds right now around 10 to 12 miles per hour, only 7 in Homestead, calm in Naples. The wind should not turn around. Sometimes at night they want to turn around and go back to the east, from west to east. This time they should continue moving from east to west. The gradient, I think, is strong enough to prevent that other direction from happening tonight. But in the longer term, here's 7 Skyscan night side. Not much is happening in the southeast or in parts of the southern U.S., but there is a front. And this front, which is located in between St. Louis and Chicago and south of Kansas City, is separating some really chilly air for this time of the year, only in the 50s right now, across the northern tier of states. And there's the high pressure with that cold Canadian air that's going to send that front closer to South Florida. Another front and storm system coming into the Pacific Northwest. But watch the jet stream over the next 48 hours. Notice that little dip beginning in the upper Midwest. That's the beginning of that trend for that front to come southward. And by the way, where that jet is, some really nasty weather. You saw the fatalities in Wisconsin from those big storms yesterday. Well, today the action has shifted a little bit further to the south. We'll keep you posted on that. For us, though, there's the area of high pressure. As long as the center of the high stays north of us, we're underneath it, so we get these late night and morning showers and the afternoon inland storms, so that would be okay. But here is that front. Look at this, 56 International Falls, only 62 in Des Moines. At the same time, 70s and 80s to the south. That front will be on the move. Now, this is from Saturday until next Thursday. Notice the trough in the east. That's that front, and we're going to have a series of fronts move across the northern tier of states, and that's going to keep, I think, a chance of showers and thunderstorms in our forecast even next week. And also a tropical wave to talk about. It has lost a lot of its convection coming into the Caribbean now, and at nighttime it usually happens. Upper-level winds are not conducive. They're blowing from west to east, and that's blowing the thunderstorm tops away. So that won't develop, but it may add to our chances of showers by Thursday, and then the pattern change Friday, Saturday. 78 to 83 tonight. 87 to 92 tomorrow, the late night, early morning showers, the inland storms. Very strong sun. We're heading toward the summer solstice. The strongest and most dangerous sun of the year is Thursday if we have a lot of sun. East to southeasterly winds at 10 to 15. As we head into Friday and Saturday, a better chance of afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Back at 11.
Thank you, Bill.
Still ahead tonight, first at 10. You put your money in a bank to save it, but often bank fees leave you with less than what you started with. We'll tell you how to get more bang for your buck from your bank.
And later on in sports, the Dolphins players face off against their toughest competition of the year today at camp. Juices says the story. Stay with us.
7 News brought to you in part by AT&T.
Hey, you want to switch? Yeah.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Avalanche.
the only vehicle that switches from an SUV to a pickup.
Good idea.
Chevy Avalanche. Like a rock.
With AT&T cable service, there's so much to see for so little money.
And now for only $19.99 per month, or just 66 cents per day, you get over 50 channels of cable TV from AT&T Broadband. And if you call 1-800-CABLE-ME today, AT&T Broadband will install one TV for only $4.95. You do the math. 66 cents per day and installation for only $4.95.
Never did so little money buy so much fun. Don't wait. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME today.
The reborn 2002 Explorer has arrived. Drive it at your South Florida Ford dealer today, featuring a low lease of only $299 a month, and current owners receive an additional $750 cash back.
Where children as young as 10 get drunk in the streets, while grown-ups look the other way. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Inside Edition, tomorrow at 7 on 7.
Florida's Lee Island coast. Call for your free vacation guide.
Keeping your money can cost money. Banks charging fees for you to access your cash.
ATM fees are just a pain.
But there are ways to get more bang for your buck.
We all know those fees. Every time you try to take money in or out, you just end up with more bank fees.
So, is there a way to get more bang for your buck when it comes to these bank fees? Here once again tonight, the night team's Beatrice Canals.
Whether it's a fee for withdrawing money or one for making too many deposits, chances are fees can nickel and dime any savings that drew you to your bank in the first place.
Some banks are really, really high. I think it's ridiculous.
ATM fees are just a pain. It's be convenient just to use, to be able to go to any ATM and not have to pay a fee to the bank of the ATM that you're using.
Paid like $100 in 1 month before. It's excessive. I mean, it seems like they're always charging something.
These days, you can be charged for anything from letting your bank balance fall below a certain level to calling the bank to ask questions, which is why it's so important to make sure to open your bank statement each month and read it carefully. I think that Gwen Verostek of Washington Mutual says keeping your money in the bank should not cost you a fortune.
The very best thing is to ask questions up front, to ask as many questions as you can think of.
This way, you know what to expect and what you'll be charged for. If you use your own bank's ATM, it's usually free.
But let's say you're using an ATM that's not your bank's ATM. You need to pay careful attention to see whether or not there is an extra charge.
If there is a charge, you'll see it on the screen, and you can stop your transaction immediately. Another way to save, get extra cash when you're paying for your groceries. Many banks don't charge a fee for that withdrawal. Also, check out your bank's internet banking policies. It may save you time, postage, and a little bit of money. Beatrice Canals, 7 News.
And still to come tonight from the Newsplex, we continue to follow the very latest on those 3 brush fires burning in Broward and Miami-Dade. We'll have live team coverage with the latest on the firefight coming your way on 7 at 11.
But first, the Marlins try to move into a second-place tie with the Braves tonight. Highlights right after the break.
7 News brought to you in part by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at mbusa.com.
No matter how much the market fluctuates,
There's still one thing you can count on. For the 8th straight year, the E-Class has been named an IntelliChoice Best Overall Value. The E-Class, perhaps the most desirable car in the world.
In South Florida, we move to our own rhythm. We also celebrate in style. And right now, we're celebrating Chrysler minivans. Chrysler Town & Country, the best minivan ever. Voyager, named Best Buy by Consumers Digest. Now, get $2,000 cash allowance on Chrysler minivans. Visit your South Florida Chrysler Jeep dealer.
The 260 horsepower Acura CL Type S.
A 4.5-liter V8. 340 horsepower.
Time for 7 Sports with Deuces Rogers.
The Marlins are playing as if they're in the middle of a pennant race, and if they keep this up, they will be come September. Marlins and Braves from Atlanta. Braves starter Jason Marquis getting lit up like one, 3rd inning. Marlins already up 2. Kevin Millar, that was not coming back. 2-run shot, his 5th, 5-1 fix. The Marlins get some defense in the 3rd. Watch how fast Alex Gonzalez gets rid of the ball in the double play. Gonzalez does it with his bat in the 4th. A solo shot to center off Marquis. The Marlins lead is 6-1. 6th inning. Joe Nelson pitching to Cliff Floyd. Floyd puts him in a full Nelson. Grand slam, game over. The Marlins win 12-2. They've won 5 in a row. The Phillies lose tonight. The Fish are now just 3.5 games out of first place. Boston and Tampa Bay. Tim Wakefield with the no-hitter deep into the game. Bottom of 8. Damian Roll hits a soft fly to left. Looks like the no-no is over, but Troy O'Leary slides in to make the catch and keep it going. 9th inning. Jason Tyner grounds to second. Jose Hoffman's throw pulls Brian Dahlbeck off the bag. It's ruled an error. The no-hitter lives. But Wakefield's luck runs out with the next batter, Randy Wynn, with a clean single to left to break it up. Boston still wins the game 5-4. Cal Ripken is ready to call it a career. The future Hall of Famer announcing his retirement effective at the end of the season. The Orioles great is best known as the man who broke Lou Gehrig's consecutive game streak. Ripken ended up with 2,632. Other numbers from his career: 2 MVP awards, 18 All-Star appearances, and 345 homers as a shortstop, also a Major League record. Ripken says he has been motivated by his fear of regret.
Maybe that was the motivation for wanting to try to maximize and do everything I can. Maybe that was some of the motivation for showing up and playing every single day. I didn't want to be in a position at the end of my career to look back over it and regret not going about it a certain way. So when I look back on my career, I have a certain set of skills, and I tried to maximize that. I had an opportunity, and I tried to maximize my playing opportunity, and I tried to love every minute that I was on the field.
Mark your calendars. Ripken will make his final South Florida appearance in less than a month. The Orioles come to the Pro July 15th through the 17th. A Georgia newspaper says Canes baseball coach Jim Morris has been mentioned to the University of Georgia coaching vacancy. He is a hot commodity after winning 2 of the last 3 College World Series titles. Morris has ties to the area. He attended grad school at Georgia and coached 12 seasons at Georgia Tech. According to reports, the Heat are somewhat interested in acquiring Nets point guard Stephon Marbury, but in order to do so, they would have to trade at least one big-name player. Last season, the 24-year-old Marbury averaged nearly 24 points and 7.5 assists per game. The Cleveland Cavaliers have a new coach. John Lucas takes the job after spending the past 3 years as an assistant with the Nuggets. A rambunctious man, to say the least. He once coached San Antonio and Philly. Lucas replaces Randy Whitman, who was fired 2 months ago. Finally tonight, a thrill of a lifetime for some kids. They get to play football with the Finns. The Dolphins holding their annual flag football camp this week. Jason Taylor somewhere in that pile. The kids being taught the fine art of running into things and touchdown celebrations. Taylor joked that helping with this camp might be tougher than the real thing.
They got a lot more energy than us, though. I'll tell you what. I'm wore out, and they're just getting started.
They just come out here and, you know, do some exercise. Because kids these days are just sitting on the couch watching too much television and playing too many video games. Exactly. She can talk for me. So, you know, it's good to, you know, get out here and be active.
What's wrong with watching television and playing video games? I do that every day. Maybe I do need a little camp or something. That'll do for sports. Lauren Craig, over to you.
I was going to say, you just described how you spend your nights when you get off of work.
Perfect. That'll do it for us. First at 10 tonight.
The news continues next on 7 at 11.
Next on 7 at 11, 3 brush fires burning across South Florida. Thousands of acres up in flames. We're live as firefighters struggle to get the upper hand. The U.S. Coast Guard opening fire on a boat near Cuba, then climbing aboard to make a huge bust. Panic at a South Florida post office when an SUV goes out of control. And a young girl devastated after she opens her yearbook to find an indecent message printed right next to her photo. 7 at 11 is next.
7 News brought to you in part by Kia, makers of a darn good car with a darn good warranty. And by Eldorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store.
The Kia Sportage in the Paris-Dakar Rally. The most grueling race in the world. 6,200 miles, 100-degree temperatures, 21 days, and no deodorant. The 2001 Kia Sportage, thoroughly tested and backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Right now, get up to $2,500 cash back or 1.9% financing through July 2nd.
When some customers choose our beautiful boulevard to meet and socialize, we understand why. It's just the place people love to visit. For that and much more, El Dorado is a different kind of furniture store.
As a mom, I worry about what's in the insect repellents I use. Then I discovered Bioganic Shoe Bug. It's safe for kids and keeps bugs away for hours, which is why I trust Shoe Bug. Keeps bugs away for hours.
Whether you're a .com, a non-com, a hot mom, whether you got a stockpile or a rock pile, your wild southern soul is about to feel different. Every minute in your Dodge is a minute worth living. Different. Big bad trucker style. Different by a country mile. The new South's gone trucking crazy. From the Dakotas to Durango. It's a different spirit, it's a different mood. It's the sweet ride with a bad dude attitude. Different. Big bad trucker style. Different by a country mile.
Different by a country mile.
Live from the news station. This is 7 at 11.